Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we take a walk in the park as we wrap up our journey through Hollywood studios. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Adam Kahlua Hummel. Oh, dear.
Kahlua.
That was an upsetting sound.
Do you have Kahlua in your coffee right now, Patrick?
I wish. I'm drinking tea. I don't think that Kahlua and tea mix well together, but I'm willing to give it a go.
You probably have had worse, I'm assuming.
There have been many, many worse things thrown into my mouth.
Desperate times.
That's right. That's right.
Patrick, a tick, a tack, a click, a clack.
Uh-oh.
Kazuki, it's like Stomp up in here.
It's going to be one of those days, it sounds like.
Trash can, broom, broom, broom.
What a delightful show Stomp is. Is it still going?
I'm sure it is. It's like a C-level bus and truck production now. They have like 4 cast members and just 2 trash can lids and some pots.
It's more forced upon people now than it is a ticketed event.
Yeah, there's a question mark after it now. Stomp?
It's more like Slap now. The B Squad is in now.
It's aggressive. No one really wants to see it, but you're forced to see it if it comes to your town.
One thing I do remember about New York is that right across the street from the Stomp Theater, there was a delicious French fry stand called Pommes Frites.
Did you see Stomp in New York?
I did not see Stomp in New York, but I remember while I was eating the delicious French fries with Parmesan and garlic on them, so good, I looked across the street and there was a Stomp Theater and I thought, I have no desire to see that.
You're like, these fries are better than that production.
I did see Stomp on tour, though, and they are delightful.
I saw them many, many years ago, yeah. And I would imagine that a hot cast, right? They're so physical, they have to be hot.
Yeah, fit AF.
Well, where do we go from here? Should we just stop recording?
Yeah, welcome to Gays Do the D, everybody. As it turns out, it's a Disney podcast and not a percussion podcast.
But we're not above making that pivot. If you're more interested in percussion, we will learn percussion. And by next week's episode, we will have some info and entertainment for you.
That's right. Only drum rolls for now on.
Drum rolls and back rolls.
Well, Stomp aside, how are you, Adam?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I am so much better than I started the podcast last week. I'm in a much better place right now.
Isn't it amazing when there's a favorable election result right in the middle of a podcast?
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, I've got Georgia on my mind.
So many people do. We hope that all of you do. There's so many ways you can volunteer to help. And also you can just throw a little cash towards Ossoff and Warnock. Why not do that while you're at it?
That's right. Vote your ass off, everybody.
Oh, that should be a slogan. Yes, but do what you can to help because we need those 2 Senate seats more than anything else.
It's true. I know we have quite a few Tweedledees coming to us from Georgia, so let us know how we can help. If there are specific locations we can donate to, let us know. We'll plug it on the podcast.
Please do that.
Well, moving on, Adam, we have to wish everybody a happy Diwali, which started officially this past week.
Happy Diwali, everybody. It's pronounced Diwali, not Diwali.
It is pronounced Diwali. I learned that this week, in fact.
I did not know. Diwali. Okay.
Indeed. And as it happens, Disney Junior has an all-new episode of Mira, Royal Detective, called The Great Diwali Mystery. And D23 has a host of the stars from Mira, Royal Detective, talking about what Diwali means to them. It's really delightful. You should check it out. I highly recommend it.
I did not know too much about the festival, but it is a really beautiful festival with a fantastic message. And Patrick, another Disney connection, they actually hang Diwali lanterns in Disney's Animal Kingdom. They're up right now.
I love it. So beautiful. It's basically a festival of light and positivity, and it's so, so beautiful. I think we can learn a lot from the Diwali festival. We all need that in our lives right now.
Right now. Yes, Patrick. Right now. It's a perfect time for it.
Have you seen any episodes of Mira, Royal Detective yet?
I have not.
Oh, you're missing out. It is so good. And if you don't have Disney Junior, you can catch some of the episodes on YouTube for free. Don't tell anyone, but they're free right now on YouTube. I don't know how legal they are on YouTube, but they are there.
I got a feeling Disney put them there intentionally. They're like, come on over to the Disney Channel if you like some more of this, kids.
It's true. It's true. Anyways, it is a gosh darn delight. So check that out.
You know who else is a gosh darn delight, Patrick?
Please let me know.
Our brand new Tweedle. His name is Stelio, and you can find him on Instagram at Stelio _K. Stelio _K. Patrick, he is joining us all the way from Australia.
Ooh, interesting. Any photos of Stelio?
I mean, head over to his Instagram. There's plenty of photos of Stelio, and we are so excited to have you joining us, Stelio. I just love when listeners reach out, especially from across the world. It's amazing to me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And welcome to the family, Stelio. And thank you for your very long underscore.
Is that a euphemism? Do we know things about Stelio or?
Moving on, Adam, we we have a new message from one of our Patreon members. I love when they reach out to us. Lucas wrote to us just this morning and said, "Hello, Adam and Patrick. How are my two favorite podcast hosts? I'm not sure if you're aware, but a new Kingdom Hearts soundtrack album just arrived in a bunch of streaming apps that got me really excited. I'm so happy that Walt Disney Records is promoting this. It's nice to see the company showing some appreciation for this game franchise. If I remember it well, Patrick was playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Hey, that's me. I would love to know if you finished the game and your impressions. This series of games has an incredibly confusing story, but it is beautiful at the same time. Anyway, I believe that even for those who don't play the games, it is worth checking out the music because it is amazing. You can find the album on Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, Deezer, what's Deezer, and many more. Thank you both for the amazing work you do. And please, Adam, please never stop doing the drum roll."
All right, that's 2 votes for Patrick continuing to do the drum roll and 548 votes, I believe, for you to stop doing the drum roll.
I'm going with the exit polls on this one, and everyone wants the drum roll.
Interesting. That is a mega approach. And Patrick will be contesting the results of our exit poll.
Make America drum roll again.
Meta? Well, Patrick, he asks you a very important question. Did you get through the game, and what did you think of it?
I have not finished it yet. I'm still playing. It is 8,000 years long to get through the entire game, but I do love it. It is so much fun. It keeps you very busy and occupied, which is absolutely needed these days, and it's beautiful, and the music is great. You're right, Lucas. I have not checked out the streaming album yet, but I'll be sure to do that as soon as we stop recording today.
Thanks for letting us know, and thanks for letting our other Tweedles know. I'm assuming, I mean, I'm not a gamer, Patrick, but I'm assuming that it is vastly different from the days when I used to play Mario Brothers, and it was over and over and over again.
That's right. There are more than 8 notes available in the soundtrack, and it's basically actually an orchestration. It's really, really lovely.
I love that. Games these days, they're like games, like wow, right?
What is this, Bye Bye Birdie?
Wait a minute. Are you telling me there's a Bye Bye Birdie game?
I wish there was a Bye Bye Birdie game. How gay would that be?
That would be the gayest, and we're trademarking it right now. No one else take that idea. Bye Bye Birdie.
We're bringing back Anne Margaret.
She never left, Patrick. She's been in my heart all these years.
I can see that. I can see that about you.
Well, thank you, Lucas, for your question. And Patrick, you mentioned he was a Patreon member. I guess this is our cue. It's been a couple of weeks. How can people become a Patreon member?
Well, Adam, for those of you who don't know out there, we do in fact have a Patreon page where for as little as $1 reoccurring a month, you too can become a Patreon family member, which gets you access to exclusive episodes of Gaze Do the D called Gaze Do the D Raw and Uncut.
Gaze Do the D Raw and Uncut.
That was so stomp of you. I liked it.
That's what I was going for, Patrick.
Amazing. Amazing. It was like a mix of Stomp and Anne Margaret. It was perfect.
Get that show up in Vegas immediately.
Someone slap that on stage right now. And you can become a part of our Patreon family by heading over to gazetothedeed.com and clicking on that donate button. Join the family, everybody. And if you join one of the higher donating tiers, you do get some prizes in return, like a mug or a t-shirt or
tickets to Stomp.
Wait, probably not, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out.
A community theater production of Stomp.
That's right. It'll just be me in the Gaze to the D recording studio, a la my basement, hitting some pots and pans. For the right price, I'm willing to do it, folks.
We have yet to do an Instagram Live, and Patrick, I think you just nailed our first subject matter.
PK does Stomp.
That is quality content the internet deserves.
That's right. We're basically going to recreate the junkyard scene in Tarzan with all of the monkeys.
I love it. You tied it back to Disney, my friend.
Listen, I'm a professional.
You're a professional. And hey, while we're at it, while we're talking about Lucas's question for Patrick, if you have any questions for us, for me, for Patrick, for Chris from Wishful Thinking, hey, why not? We'll track him down.
Why ever not?
2 weeks from now, we're going to be having a Questions and Peter Pantsers episode. That's right. So feel free to reach out to us on DM, on Instagram, at GDTD Podcast, on Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Feel free to shoot us an email at info@gazetothed.com or send us a voice memo to info@gazetothed.com with your questions, and you'll appear on that very special Questions and Peter Pantsers episode.
I love it. Do you know what else I love, Adam?
What's that?
Same-sex couples.
Oh, don't we all love same-sex couples?
We do indeed. America has voted, and we still like same-sex couples. But I'm speaking specifically about the same-sex couple featured on the Hollywood Studios map.
What a moment.
What a moment. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I do love it, and it is progress, but you don't see their faces. So same-sex couples don't get a face, but they do get an image. So that's baby steps, you know?
Well, they're butterfaces. Disney was like, we're going to spare you.
Oh, no.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh, boy. That's problematic.
Listen, Patrick, you can't have faces and butts in a photo, so they gave us butts.
That's fair. Good on you, Disney. Good on you. Thanks for that butt shot. I don't know. Is that a thing?
It is absolutely a thing. I've seen some butt shots in my day.
Okay. Fair enough. No, it is absolutely wonderful that they have done this. So good job, Disney. We have many more steps to take, but you're going in the right direction. These are gaby steps, right?
Little gaby steps. We appreciate it. If you want more ideas of how to include same-sex couples in Disney marketing materials, give us a call, Disney.
That's right. Give us a call. We'll send you some photos of same-sex couples, maybe some thruples.
Get some thruples in there. Why not?
Listen, it's the future. It's the future.
Moving on, Patrick, I thought we could just have a little chat about the premiere of Inside Pixar on Disney+. Did you have a chance to check it out yet?
I did. I have seen the very first episode, and I absolutely loved it.
Me too. You know, it's unlike Into the Unknown making Frozen 2 and the Imagineering story even, in that we're getting more of a story about the people behind the projects at Pixar rather than the story behind the project itself. I love being introduced to all these creatives at Pixar.
Yes, absolutely. The first episode features Kemp Powers, who is a co-writer and co-director, I believe, right, of the upcoming movie Soul.
Yes, it's fantastic to get his perspective and how his experiences, how his life story influences Soul. It's really interesting. And I encourage you to keep going, Patrick. These are just like 12-minute, 13-minute episodes, but you really get a sense of how the Pixar cast members' lives influence the work they do within the company.
Yes, this one really was touching for me. I was really taken aback about how he was talking about how amazing it is seeing fully rendered black hair on the screen and how emotional that was for him. And it just made me stop and think and go, man, we have made some excellent steps, but we have so far to go. When I was thinking about how Soul is going to be such a groundbreaking movie and why is it just now happening that it's a groundbreaking movie. I was thinking about Princess and the Frog and how that was amazing, but she spends over half the movie as a frog instead of a authentic Black woman. And so while it was groundbreaking, it still didn't go far enough. And now we're finally getting there, baby steps again with Soul. So I'm excited to see. I'm re-excited to see that movie.
Yeah, it really does activate your excitement to see it. And again, we'll reiterate, it is going to be free, coming to Disney Plus for free on Christmas Day.
So exciting. So everyone go ahead and check out Inside Pixar. You will not be disappointed. Well, moving on, Adam, it's time to talk about this week in Disney history. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Why is no one ready? Best quote ever. Best quote ever. All right, well, let's start out with the youngest one. So 16 years ago, Adam, on November 16th, 2004, Stitch's Great Escape opened in Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom, along with a ceremony in front of Cinderella Castle, which was covered in toilet paper by Stitch himself. The attraction would run for 14 years until it closed in January of 2018, and then it was horrifically dismantled later that year. Very upsetting. And fun fact, also debuting on that very same day at Epcot was Turtle Talk with Crush, which is still running, but probably not at the moment.
Stitch's Great Escape, Patrick.
Controversial attraction. I personally really loved it, but I love all things Stitch.
You're a Stitch bitch.
I am a Stitch bitch.
I liked it too. I thought it was really cute. I think a lot of people's issues with it kind of sprung from the fact that previously in that location was Alien Encounter, which was also very, very, very controversial.
Yeah, that attraction had no business being in the Magic Kingdom.
It really didn't. It was absolutely terrifying. So Stitch's Great Escape, a much more palatable attraction for Magic Kingdom guests.
Yes, absolutely. You are greatly missed, Stitch. Well, moving on, 30 years ago, Adam, on November 16th as well, 1990, Disney's 29th animated feature, The Rescuers Down Under, had its premiere, featuring the return of Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor, reprising their roles of Bernard and Ms. Bianca. Fun fact, Adam, The Rescuers Down Under was Disney's first feature-length animated sequel to hit the theaters. It was also the very first feature film to completely be created digitally, using no cameras.
That's such an interesting milestone. Whenever I hear about digital work back in the day, I always think about like how hot those computer rooms or processing rooms must have been. Like just the heat pouring out of those machines, churning out scene after scene after scene.
Yeah, absolutely. What a beautiful movie. You haven't seen this one yet, have you?
I have not.
Uh-oh, Stelio is going to be very upset with you.
I apologize, Stelio. I apologize.
It's a great movie. We should do a take 2 of this one, or a take 1 for you.
I'm willing to do it, Patrick.
Thank you for your commitment to the podcast, Adam. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Moving on to our last item, 112 years ago, Adam, on November 17th, 1973. This one is very apropos for today's political climate. During a press conference at Disney's Contemporary Resort in front of 400 Associated Press managing editors, then President Richard Nixon would exclaim, "I am not a crook." This, of course, was part of his Watergate scandal defense and was ultimately a defining moment in the downward spiral of his career and his fall from grace and, of course, his fall from the presidency.
Now, that's some serious American history happening at a Disney resort.
Yeah, strangely, some very weird American history moments happened in a Disney resort.
We got that one, un-American history. Didn't John Lennon quit the Beatles while he was staying at the Polynesian?
Something like that, but it did happen at the Polynesian. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, the Beatles had a big moment in the Polynesian. I think it was when Yoko had just entered the scene.
Uh-oh, Yoko.
Yoko, you know what you did.
I wonder how Disney felt about the fact that that very historic moment took place at the Contemporary.
I mean, press is press, Adam. You know?
Did you know they turned it into a very short-lived attraction? Actually, oddly enough, where Stitch's Great Escape is today.
The fall of presidents.
The fall of presidents.
Hey-o.
was not an e-ticket attraction.
No, it didn't work out as well as they wanted it to. But listen, there's still time, apparently.
There's a couple now we can throw into that attraction.
It's at least a party of two now.
There's an extreme drop at the end of the experience.
What a thrill ride. What a thrill ride.
Political humor. Who are we, Bill Maher?
We are today. Well, that concludes, Adam, this week in Disney history.
Are you feeling in a celebratory mood, Patrick?
I am always in a celibate mood. Oh, you said celebratory.
Celebratory, yes.
Got it. I am indeed. Why do you ask, Adam?
This very week, Patrick, we need to celebrate the birthdays of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. They are turning 92 years young.
Amazing. Happy birthdays, Mickey and Minnie. You know, I was going to add that to This Week in Disney History, but I thought that Richard Nixon would be more appealing to our Tweedles.
For sure. Yeah, I know it was a real Sophie's choice on your part to include presidential history or the most iconic of Disney characters. I'm proud of the direction you went.
Thank you. I like to keep it unexpected here on Gaze to the D.
So we say happy birthday, Mickey and Minnie. Have some cake, have some cheese, maybe, a little wine.
Ooh, a cheesecake, maybe.
Have some cheesecake and live it up.
Live your best mice. What?
You are all over the puns today.
I can't stop, Adam.
We just have a quick update on last week's episode. If you'll recall, Chris from Wishful Thinking joined us to talk about what you can expect this holiday season in Disney World. And Chris reached out to us just today, as a matter of fact, to let us know that a bunch of new park passes have been added in December. So if you're thinking about heading down to Walt Disney World for the holiday season, or if you're already on your way, I guess you wouldn't be on your way yet, but if you're going to be going, just know that there are now a bunch of new park passes that have been added to DisneyWorld.com. So if you were looking for a certain park pass that you weren't able to grab, especially during that week of Christmas, it might just be there right now. So head on over there and grab it while you can.
Amazing. So many things to celebrate and be thankful for on this episode, Adam. In fact, I believe, Adam, it's time to reveal our Week 2 Thanksgiving Thanksgiveaway winner.
How is it already time to announce our Week 2 Thanksgiveaway winner?
November is halfway over. Adam, can you believe it?
I can't. I mean, you asked me and I can't.
I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't. Well, Adam, would you like to reveal the Week 2 winner of our Thanksgiving Thanksgiveaway?
I would like to reveal the winner, Patrick. Last week's giveaway was a winner's choice of the Disneyland or Walt Disney World Wishes Come True Blue Mickey Mouse Tumbler with Straw by Starbucks. And the winner is Carla, who you can find on Instagram at Carla_Lafarga07.
Carla Lafarga. That is the best name I've ever heard. It sounds like a character on Parks and Rec.
Carla Lafarga. Yeah.
Carla, congratulations, A, on your name, and B, on winning this tumbler.
Two-time winner, Carla Lafarga, the name and the tumbler. Carla, we're going to be reaching out to you to obtain your information and to find out if you're going to be going with the Disneyland or Walt Disney World tumbler. We all want to know.
Ooh, we do want to know. Do you have a guess?
I believe she's on the West Coast, so my guess is the Disneyland tumbler.
Fair enough. I actually really like the Disneyland one better. I think it's a little bit cuter. I don't know why.
Oh, you are starting a war.
Come for me, Tweedles.
He wants a fight. He's taking off his earrings and his rings, and he's ready to go to town.
That's right. I'm going to take out my tooth as well, my trick tooth, just in case.
All right, Patrick, that means we have moved on to our Week 3 giveaway. Patrick, do you want to tell the kids what we're giving away for Week 3 of Thanksgiving Thanksgiveaways?
I would love to, because I have one of these items already. I haven't opened it yet, though. The winner of the Week 3 Thanksgiving Thanksgiveaway will have another choice, Adam, of a Disney Holiday Advent sock calendar. So you can choose between the men's or the women's socks. Each of the 12 doors in either box opens to reveal a pair of socks featuring some of your favorite Disney and Pixar characters. It's absolutely adorable. Of course, that means it includes 12 pairs of socks, 6 crew cut and 6 low cut.
Those low cut socks are so revealing.
They are revealing just below the ankle.
Or cankle for some of us.
Listen, live your best cankle life.
Hashtag cankle positivity.
Be cankle positive, everybody. Well, Adam, will you let our Tweedledees know how they can win one of these Advent sock calendars?
To enter, you need to follow us on Instagram at GDTD Podcast. You need to like the post featuring the image of the Advent sock calendar and tag a Disney-loving friend, a sock-loving friend, a foot-loving friend. Don't yuck their yum. They love feet.
That's right. If you love feet, give a beat. Is that the saying?
If you love feet, it's really neat.
Oh, there you go. That's why you're the brains behind this operation.
I'm so flattered. Back to the rules. For each person you tag, you will receive an entry. The more people you tag, the more entries you receive, the better your chances to win. You can earn an additional entry by reposting our post or sharing it in your story and tagging at GDTD Podcast. We'll be accepting entries until 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time on Friday, November 20th. The winner will be contacted via DM shortly after that and announced on our Monday, November 23rd episode. This giveaway is in no way affiliated with or sponsored by Disney or Instagram.
But it is sponsored by feet.
And I'm just going to tell you right now, Tweedles, if you don't have a name as cool as Carla Lafarga, don't even bother entering.
We're not going to read your name if it's not cool like that.
Yeah, it better either rhyme or just make us laugh.
Not that your name is comical, Carla. It's just delightful.
We've probably been mispronouncing it this entire time.
It's actually Johnson. Well, speaking of mispronunciations, Adam, I think it's time to head into the news so we can mispronounce every single word.
You have very little faith in us.
That's Foth. It's pronounced Foth.
You have very little faith in us.
In celebration of Veterans Day, which was this past Wednesday, November 11th, Lucasfilm launched a brand new education initiative and social media campaign providing resources to students and educators, honoring and highlighting the story of the Tuskegee Airmen. For those who don't know, the Tuskegee Airmen were the first Black military aviators in the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II, which is now known, of course, as the Air Force. They trained at the Tuskegee Army Airfield in Alabama. At the time, the American military was racially segregated due to Jim Crow laws that were in effect. And though these brave men flew thousands of missions and shot down over 100 German aircraft, they were still subjected to discrimination and racism from within and outside of the Army. Through this education initiative, Lucasfilm will provide content that is 100% free of charge and available to everyone right now by going to lucasfilm.com/Tuskegee Airmen. The content includes the documentary Double Victory, The Tuskegee Airmen at War, which will be made available permanently on the site, along with an all-new curriculum guide for grades 6 through 12. Also available is a reel narrated by Hamilton's Leslie Odom Jr. called Celebrate the Tuskegee Airmen, spotlighting the airmen's story and legacy. You will also find written profiles on Tuskegee pilots, nurses, and ground personnel. In addition to this, for the month of November, Disney Plus is offering free viewings of the film Red Tails on lucasfilm.com. If you haven't seen this movie, stop what you're doing now and watch it. It's on Disney Plus, but if you don't have access, as I said, you can watch it for free on lucasfilm.com. It's the story of the Tuskegee Airmen featuring Terrence Howard, Cuba Gooding Jr., Nate Parker, Neo, Elijah Kelly, and my boyfriend, Michael B. Jordan. A quote from Lucasfilm General Manager Lynwyn Brennan: "Too often, we find the contributions of Black Americans left out of our history books. The Tuskegee Airmen were not just heroes during World War II, they were courageous change makers in their communities. Their accomplishments paved the way for the civil rights movement and the desegregation of the military. There are no better role models for us all." Additionally, Lucasfilm is launching the hashtag #FlyLikeThem, which will feature quotes from the airmen and facts from their World War II experiences. So head on over to lucasfilm.com and follow the hashtag #FlyLikeThem and be sure to share their stories on your social media feeds.
This is fabulous. And isn't it a shame that this is not something that we learn in our schools? At least I was not aware of the Tuskegee Airmen while I was being educated. It was well after I was out of school that I actually learned about their contributions to our country.
Yes, absolutely. I for sure did not learn about this in grade school, middle school, or high school. It wasn't until in college I took a World War II history class, and even then it was like one day that we talked about it. It was barely mentioned, and it was not even in our history book. Our teacher took it upon himself, our professor took it upon himself to talk to us about it. So it's terrible that we aren't learning about this, but thank goodness Lucasfilm and Disney are giving this amazing opportunity. I checked out some of the content, and it is really in-depth. Even if you're not a student, I fully recommend checking out the curriculum. It's fascinating and highly educational.
And though this relates to World War II, it's just another instance of people who want to serve our country, who are faced with racism in their service. You know, we talk about the transgender military ban. It's just people who want to serve our country who aren't necessarily able to. So hooray for the Tuskegee Airmen, and hooray for anyone who decides to put their life on the line by protecting our country.
Yes, absolutely. And hooray for Michael B. Jordan in the film Red Tails. Oh, boy, he's a delight.
You know, you referred to him as your boyfriend in the news story.
What's your question?
I thought we were about facts on the podcast.
Oh, you're right. I meant lover.
Patrick, there's a lot of numbers in this story.
All right. I am going to take a nap.
Last Thursday, November 12th, the Walt Disney Company reported earnings for its fourth quarter and fiscal year, which ended on October 3rd, 2020. Spoiler alert, things are bad, but they're not as bad as they could be.
All right. End of story.
Nope, I got to keep going.
Okay.
Disney's revenues fell 23% to $14.7 billion, and the company reported a loss of $710 million compared to the $777 million in profits it recorded in the same period a year ago, resulting in the company's first annual loss in more than 40 years. With Disneyland closed and Disney Cruise Line stuck in port, Disney's Parks, Experiences, and Products division saw revenues for the quarter decrease 61% to $2.6 billion. The company said it took a $6.9 billion hit to its parks revenues this year because of theme park closures and the slowdown in the tourism sector. All in all, Disney estimated that COVID-19 has thus far resulted in a $7.4 billion annual loss. And looking ahead, Disney estimates that it will cost about $1 billion next year to address safety issues related to operation during the pandemic. Disney Plus, which just celebrated its one-year anniversary in the States, continues to be a bright spot for the company. We learned that the streaming service now has 73 million paid subscribers, due in large part to programming like Beyoncé's Black is King, Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, and the continued success of The Mandalorian. Despite doing so well, Disney Plus isn't turning a profit yet and has a long way to go before it catches Netflix's more than 200 million customers. And lastly, a few additional announcements to note. We learned that Disney Resort will remain closed at least until January 2021, and that Disney Park Pass reservations for Walt Disney World are currently 77% booked through December, with the Disney World parks now operating at 35% capacity, up from 25% capacity when the parks reopened last July.
Ooh-wee, that is a lot of numbers to take in.
It is. Numbers, percents, you know I don't do math, but the good news is that Disney actually beat industry estimates, Wall Street estimates, and is doing better than expected despite everything that's been thrown at them.
Yeah, they knew they were going to take a hit and report a loss, but their loss wasn't as big as they expected it to be.
And Disney stock, Patrick, an explanation of kind of how volatile things are right now. You know, when Pfizer announced last week that the vaccine they were developing had a 90% efficacy rate, Disney stock kind of shot up then because people realized, oh, we might be getting back to the parks sooner and more safer than we expected.
Strange how that works when the president-elect is announced and Pfizer announces a vaccine that could be on the horizon, that people's morale and stock accounts go way up. They shoot way up into the sky, Adam.
Can you imagine if Disney promised free pretzels and fudge to every guest?
That is my dream, Adam. I'm about to cry right now thinking about it.
Vaccine, pretzel, fudge. All in the same shot. All in one shot.
That's the correct order of operations, too. The D23 Fantastic World celebration kicks off this Monday, November 16th, with a full lineup of virtual events, online articles, and exclusive merchandise releases. The virtual party, as I said, starts on Monday, November 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with the Fantasia Legacy, a conversation with Eric Goldberg. This event will be a retrospective celebration of Fantasia's 80th anniversary, led by Eric Goldberg, who was a key creator of Fantasia 2000. Then at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the same day, you can watch Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Storytelling Through Merchandise. You'll have a chance to meet the Disney merchandising team who helped bring Batuu to life through merchandise sold in the shops on Batuu. Both of these experiences can be watched on youtube.com/Disney23. Then on Tuesday, November 17th at 5 p.m., you'll get to experience Marvel's 616 Uncovered. Fans will have a first look at Marvel's 616 coming to Disney Plus with executive producers Sarah Amos and Jason Sturman, along with directors Clay Jeter and Brian Oakes. Marvel 616 will premiere on Disney Plus on November 20th. Then, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, you can watch Marvel Comics celebrates 80 years of Captain America, an 8-decade retrospective of America's favorite hero that looks best from behind. This event will be led by Marvel Comics editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski and executive editor Tom Brevoort. Next up, on Wednesday, November 18th, D23 Gold members will have an exclusive opportunity to watch Globetrotting with Mickey Mouse and the Walt Disney Archives at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be a birthday celebration for the main mouse himself, with stories of the international icon featuring rarely seen images from the Walt Disney Archives. Gold members will need to register for this event at d23.com. Then at 6 p.m., everyone is invited to celebrate Mickey and Minnie on their birthday with a virtual birthday party, including a look at the new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway attraction and a sneak peek of the Disney Plus series, The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. On Thursday the 19th, you can watch Walt Disney World Destination Tomorrow at 5 p.m. This event will feature Disney vacation planners sharing their secrets on creating a memorable vacation in Walt Disney World. Then at 6 p.m., you can watch Epcot, The Magic of Possibility, giving viewers a look at the future of Epcot and an in-depth look at the making of Remy's Ratatouille adventure. And finally, on Friday the 20th at 5 p.m., you can celebrate the 25th anniversary of Toy Story, 25 years, Adam, with Toy Story 25th all new 5 facts video. Here you'll learn about some rarely heard stories and facts about Pixar's very first feature film. And at 6 p.m., D23 Gold members are treated to another exclusive with Creating Fantastic Worlds, a journey into Disney world building. Here you'll learn all about what it takes to create a unique world for Disney, from San Francisco to Wakanda to Treasure Cove. And beyond these amazing online videos, all week long, Topps will be releasing D23 Fantastic Worlds digital collectibles, including a D23 member exclusive. To learn more about these exclusive releases and to access all of the Fantastic World articles, be sure to visit d23.com.
That is quite the lineup of programming.
Super, super exciting programming. I think I might need to call in sick next week.
Patrick, as a gold member. Gold member.
That's right.
Is there something that's jumping out at you? Is there a gold member exclusive you're most excited to watch? Or is it just one of the regular offerings to us plebeians?
I mean, I'm clearly interested in Captain America. You know, America's ass. Am I right?
It's just a half-an-hour shot of his booty.
I would watch that all day long on loop. It's my duty to salute that booty.
It's so good. It's such a good, firm, taut
Do we need to stop recording for a while?
Peach.
Georgia Peach. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Remember when the Brady Bunch started a music group?
I sure do.
Go with me on this journey. They had a song. How did it go? I think I'll go for a walk outside now. The summer sun knows me by name. Remember that song?
I hear you now.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for joining me on that journey. I think, Adam, it's time for another episode of A Walk in the Park, and that song will not leave my head.
I just can't stay inside all day. I gotta get out. Give me some of those rays.
Everybody's talking.
Sunshine day.
Everybody's walking.
I think that's all I know. And the only reason I know that song, I believe, is from the first Brady Bunch movie and not the actual series, The Brady Bunch.
Oh, see, I watched The Brady Bunch. Anytime I was homesick from school, I was just a Brady Bunch all day long.
Put on your Sunday best, kids. We're going to Sears.
Well, Adam, once again, we find ourselves in a non-Disney podcast.
Do you think there is a Brady Bunch podcast? I'm sure there's got to be one.
If there's not, we're starting one.
Trademark.
It's called Sure Jan with Adam and Patrick.
I would listen to that, Patrick.
Me too. Me too. But Adam, we've got some work to do because boy, oh boy, do we have quite the walk around the park. We are finishing off our series of A Walk in the Park through Hollywood Studios. We thought we were being smart by sectioning it off into 3 different pieces, but little did we remember that Galaxy's Edge is enormous.
It's a honkin' piece of that park.
It is a honkin' piece of that park. So this episode, I'm sorry to say, will be roughly 3 to 4 hours long.
But chock full of useful information, because if you have not yet been to Galaxy's Edge, or if you simply want to relive your experience, this episode should be quite the treat for you.
Quite the treat. Well, Adam, are you ready to take a walk in the park? Because it's far too cold here in Minnesota to take a walk in our own parks.
You're right. It requires boots, a coat, gloves, a hat, long underwear, a face mask over your face mask.
And that's just to get out of bed.
That's right. So it'll be great to head to a warmer climate and enjoy everything, or at least a third of what Hollywood Studios has to offer.
1/3 of Hollywood Studios, which is actually 1/2 of Hollywood Studios. But here, here we go. So when last we met, we had just gotten off of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, exited from the Chinese theater, and now we are making our way to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge by way of Commissary Lane.
That's right. Commissary Lane, the most dynamic of all of the areas we'll be exploring today in Hollywood Studios.
Is it, though?
It's not, but it does offer a couple of really wonderful experiences. Let's start by talking about the ABC Commissary, which I have never actually experienced. Patrick, have you ever stopped in at the ABC Commissary?
I stopped in there once, took a look around, and went in the other direction.
Okay, so the posters from ABC television shows didn't entice you, huh?
Well, some of those doctors on Grey's Anatomy are pretty fine.
McDreamy, McSteamy, McPeamy.
Oh, dear. You clearly haven't seen Grey's Anatomy in a while.
Are they down to like just whatever's left?
It's still Meredith. I think she's still on it, but it's all new doctors now, basically.
Got to check back in with the staff of Seattle Grace. Is that actually the name of the hospital?
I think so. Ding, ding, ding.
How the heck did I pull that out of my brain? Anyway, back to the commissary. You know, Patrick, the Walt Disney World website notes that the commissary gives guests an opportunity to feast on fare with an international flair amid the Art Deco setting of this studio-inspired commissary.
Yeah, it's a confusing quick service cafeteria, but it's always very busy and hopping in there. So who can say?
That's right. They offer pretty standard fare. It was recently redone and I think revamped a bit. I think they kind of plussed the Art Deco styling of the place. Lunch and dinner will cost you about $14.99 per adult. And Patrick, as I talked about on the podcast before, during normal times, and I think we're assuming for the most part that today we'll be talking about this park running during normal times, the ABC Commissary has offered a Toy Story Land early morning magic breakfast.
Ooh, take advantage of that if you want to ride Slinky Dog Dash.
That's right. If you got kids that are Toy Story fans, take advantage of that early morning magic and stop and have some breakfast at the ABC Commissary if they're still going to be doing that post-pandemic.
And as we said, it is a pretty popular location, so I do recommend getting a reservation in advance.
Do it.
Do it. Well, moving on, across from there, Adam, is one of my very favorite character meet and greets. It's the Mickey and Minnie starring in Red Carpet Dreams. Of course, this is temporarily unavailable, but as we said, we will be speaking as though the parks are open and free to be enjoyed. So as I said, this is my favorite. I think it is my absolute favorite meet and greet because you get to meet Minnie Mouse in this delightful, glamorous, pink red carpet event dress. She's very Marilyn Monroe.
There's a fan below her, just inappropriately blowing up her dress.
Exactly, pretty much. And then you get to meet Sorcerer Mickey, which, for my money, is the best Mickey Mouse outfit.
The cutest. How cute would it be to take your kids to Hollywood Studios, meet Sorcerer Mickey, and then go see Fantasmic, and your kids would lose their minds. They'd be like, we just met him.
It's true. They'll be like, I know him. I know that mouse.
He owes me money.
He stole my wallet.
He is a sorcerer. He's got all those magic tricks. Your credit score will absolutely plummet when you meet Sorcerer Mickey.
And for my next trick, I'm going to make your finances disappear.
Well, just kitty corner from there, Patrick, we have one of my favorite restaurants in Hollywood Studios, and honestly, one of my favorite restaurants on Walt Disney World property. That's the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater restaurant.
I would have to agree with you. This is a delightful place to grab a meal.
It opened on April 20th, 1991 as one of the 20 new attractions opening at Walt Disney World to mark the resort's 20th anniversary. It is dinner and a show 50s style at this drive-in theater, Patrick, featuring all-American cuisine and sci-fi movie clips.
That's true. They play classic 1950s era sci-fi movies and old commercials that you would have seen at the drive-in.
It's incredibly entertaining while you eat. And if you have not been in Sci-Fi Dine-In, it is such a break from the harsh Florida sunlight because it is nighttime in there. You're at a drive-in theater. There's beautiful twinkling stars above you, and it's so nice and cool in there. It really does give you a break during a busy park day.
It's true. It's very that scene from Grease where everyone finds out that Rizzo is preggers.
It's very that. Yeah, you can enjoy your drive-in barbecue burger when you find out that Rizzo is super pregs.
Is that your favorite burger there, the barbecue burger?
I have to say, yeah, that's the one I go to time and time again. Do you have a favorite?
I love the beef and blue cheeseburger. I love a blue cheeseburger so much, and they have a great one there.
You know what else they have there, Patrick?
Please tell me.
Long Island Lunar Tea for $15.
It's true. Did you have one?
I had several.
Oh, no. And that was the end of your day.
I don't remember much of that day after that lunch, but they are delicious and they will mess you up.
Amazing. I'm recommending the spicy Martian margarita. I love a spicy margarita.
Oh, I'll have to have a few of those next time I go.
Just four of each, please. Keep them coming.
Lunch and dinner will run you between $15 and $34.99 per adult when you visit this location. You will absolutely want to make a reservation to ensure that you get in. But yeah, it's so charming. I love this restaurant.
Yeah, I would say for my money, this is probably the best themed restaurant that Disney has, and the food is pretty outstanding.
I agree on both those counts. Check and check, Patrick.
Check and check. Well, after you've had 3 to 4 Long Island Lunar iced teas, you can do some more drinking around the corner from there at Baseline Tap House.
Patrick.
I'll tell you what. So this is one of the more recent offerings in the park. And this is, I think, my favorite outdoor place to sit down, relax, have a beer, and just hang out with your friends. It's super, super delightful, assuming that you don't have kids with you. I'll tell you what, if you have kids and strollers with you, this is probably not your best option.
Yeah, get away from us.
It's not your best option because we will be throwing nuts at you. Bar nuts. I should be very specific. We'll be throwing bar nuts at you.
Yes.
If you're a hot dad, we'll be throwing some different nuts at you, probably.
Oh, we're never going to be allowed back in Hollywood studios ever again.
You're those guys that threw their nuts at somebody.
Much like Sci-Fi Dine-In, Patrick, this is another great place to take a break. It won't be as cool as Sci-Fi Dine-In, but that patio is so charming and allows for some excellent people watching while you're sitting there.
Yes, it's true. So the outside and exterior of the Baseline Tap House is designed to look like a little hangout in downtown Los Angeles with a brick exterior and a hefty amount of patio seating. And inside is a nod to the Figueroa Printing Company that once shared a partnership with the Disney Studios.
Did they make that up? Did Imagineering make that up, or is that real?
I think they actually did share space, at least, with the Figueroa Printing Company back in the day in California.
Listen, as long as they keep serving drinks, I'm fine with whatever story they want to tell me.
Yeah, Tweedledees, let us know. Is that a made-up story? I think it's real, but if it's made up, it seems like a long way to go for something that's not real.
They have a broad selection of California craft ales, lagers, and cider. They have a variety of California wines on tap and specialty cocktails. And Patrick, we have both enjoyed the Bavarian pretzel slathered in mustard. And we have also both enjoyed the charcuterie board highlighting delicious California cheeses.
It's true. They are delightful. For food, it's pretty slim pickings. It's the pretzel and the charcuterie board. They also have spiced almonds, which are delicious, and a coffee-rubbed ribeye beef puff, which I'm going to go ahead and insist that be my new nickname, Beef Puff.
Beef puff. Agreed.
No, I really, really love this place. You can do, my recommendation, if you're a lover of beer, is get a beer flight and just say bartender's choice, and they'll give you their best beers.
And as a non-beer drinker, there are so many other options. You'll absolutely be able to find something to enjoy when you're visiting the Baseline Tap House.
I believe now, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, they have a full bar now, so you can get like a vodka soda if you want to now.
I usually just bring my own. I pack it in a flask.
I fill up my souvenir popcorn bucket with vodka soda.
That's a hot tip, everyone.
It's a hot tip. A hot tip. Another hot tip is that they do not take reservations here, so it's first come, first serve.
So moving on from Baseline Tap House, if you can walk after you visit Baseline Tap House, this is now taking us to the Grand Avenue area of Hollywood Studios. And this is such a charming area, recently rethemed, but still includes Muppets theming. Let's head first, Patrick, to Pizza Rizzo, shall we?
We shall indeed.
Pizza Rizzo, according to the Disney World website, is a friendly neighborhood Italian joint run by Rizzo, the wisecracking Muppet. Lunch and dinner will run you around $14.99 per adult. And the menu includes pizza and subs and, of course, alcoholic beverages. Another location I have never been to, Patrick, Pizza Rizzo. Have you been?
I have been there, not to eat, but just to check it out. It's kind of cute inside. I recommend at least looking at it. There's some fun Muppets memorabilia in there. But the food, I'll tell you what, it's not great. Disney does not do quick service pizza very well. That's just my opinion. And it holds strong here that it's not great.
That is not just your opinion. That is also my opinion. And I guess several of our Tweedles' opinions as well. You're right. Disney does not do pizza that well. So give it a shot. I don't know.
Strangely, they do actually have a lot of the specialty drinks that are seasonal throughout the parks. You have to dig deep sometimes to find out where those locations are, but Pizza Rizzo will have almost all of them. Like currently the frozen winterberry margarita and the frozen salted caramel hot cocoa with Kahlua.
It's almost like they want people to stop in there.
They do. They want people to stop in there because no one's going in there. You do not need a reservation.
Well, maybe one of these days I'll check it out, Patrick. But where should we head next?
Well, let's continue on our food journey in this little area and talk about Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano, which is your basic Italian restaurant, right?
I beg to differ. Walt Disney World's website calls it a casual but colorful Italian eatery with a California twist.
Okay. And Patrick's website is calling it a basic Italian restaurant.
This location, though, is so popular with so many guests. A lot of people really love an Italian meal while they're visiting a park when it's 90 degrees. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, you know what sounds great on a humid 102 day is chicken parmesan. You know?
That would be where my park day ends, I think.
Yeah, it just does not sound appetizing. But listen, if you're an Italian food fan, go here, I guess. That's what I'll say.
Lunch and dinner will run you about $15 to $34.99 per adult. And there is an extensive adult beverage menu, Patrick.
It's true. All the wines and beers as far as the eye can see.
And this is a location where you can make a reservation for the Fantasmic dining package.
It's true. Here's what I'll say. If you are in need of a reservation, Mama Melrose's will almost always be available.
That's another hot tip from you.
Hot tip, and hot chicken parmesan.
The Fantasmic dining package will run you $43 for adults and $18 for children. Some dining plans are accepted. It includes one table service meal per package purchased. And for those that don't know, when you purchase the Fantasmic dining package, you get reserved VIP seating for Fantasmic.
It's very worth it. It is a great spot to watch that show from.
Absolutely. If you have not seen Fantasmic, it's so worth your money to purchase one of these dining packages, either at Mama Melrose or the Brown Derby or Hollywood and Vine, which we'll be talking about later.
Particularly if you were going to have dinner anyways, it's not that much more to just go ahead and get that dining package. You're probably going to spend roughly the same amount as you would have anyways.
Just do it.
Just go ahead and do it. Moving on from there, for a little shopping, Adam, we've got It's a Wonderful Shop, which is the Hollywood Studios Christmas store, and it smells like gingerbread. I love this store. I believe it's closed right now, as it is pretty small, so I think that they are unable to accommodate social distancing while in that store.
Well, good. I didn't want to go in anyway.
But there's also the Stage One Company store, which used to be the Muppets gift shop, but it's now mostly Star Wars offerings with some Pixar stuff and some Muppet stuff in there. But they do have, hot tip from me, a big selection of those frameable character stencils. So if you're in the market for one of those, it's a good place to go.
A character stencil?
Yeah, like those little, just like renderings of a character, like a sketch of Stitch, basically. You've seen those, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
They're like a drawing, not a fully colored in, but just like an outline drawing of a classic character.
Got it. Love it. Get some art for your walls.
Get some art.
And that, Patrick, takes us to the attraction in the Grant Avenue area. We're talking about Muppet Vision 3D, which opened as Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D on May 16th, 1991. May 16th just happens to be my birthday. You're all very welcome.
Thank you, Adam. But that was 1891.
That's so gross of you to say that.
Gross yet accurate.
Muppet Vision 3D is a hilarious film and live-action extravaganza, Patrick.
I adore this show. Adore it.
Me too. It takes place in a perfect replica of the Muppet Theater from the classic television series, The Muppet Show. And those Muppets take you on a zany tour of their lab and show off their new movie-making invention, Muppet Vision 3D.
It's true. If you are a Muppets fan, this is a must-see, I think. Even if you're not a Muppet fan, I think this is an underrated attraction. I have a feeling it might be on its way out, but I hope not. Let's start a petition to save Muppets 3D.
We need more Muppets in the parks. Yes, there are on-screen musical numbers and live in-theater special effects. And here's a fun fact for you, Patrick. This attraction was a unique collaboration between Jim Henson Productions and Walt Disney Imagineering. It is the final film that was directed by Jim Henson and the last to feature his voice as Kermit the Frog.
Additionally, it was Jim Hunt's last project with the Muppets. He voiced Scooter, Janice, Beaker, and Sweetums, and he passed away in 1992.
A tribute to both of those gentlemen.
At the time that this attraction came out, Jim Henson and Disney were in a lot of negotiations to have a bunch more partnerships. But unfortunately, with Jim Henson's passing, we didn't really see that come to fruition. A little bit with Muppets Christmas Carol, but that was more so produced by the Jim Henson Studios and released by Disney.
I'll say it again, Patrick. We just need more Muppets in the parks.
We do. I absolutely agree with you. Disney has got to find their groove with the Muppets. And that sort of concludes that section of Hollywood Studios, Adam. So what do you say we get to the main event that we've all been waiting for in Hollywood Studios? I'm talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Let's head in through that tunnel and into that magical land. You know, gays are more used to going through the back door than the front entrance, but this time we're going through the front.
We're going through the main entrance. So Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is, of course, the newest land in Hollywood Studios and in Walt Disney World at large. It opened on August 29th, 2019, 3 months after the basically identical version in Disneyland opened. And interestingly, back in 2010, Imagineers had plans to develop a land that would include multiple locations from the franchise's original 3 episodes, including Tatooine and Endor, and it would have been much larger in scale, taking over the Echo Lake area, which we'll talk about in a minute, and the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, and it would have bled into and included where Star Tours is right now. However, both Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, and Bob Iger paused all development on Star Wars-themed projects until episodes 7, 8, and 9 were at least in production. So a few years later, Imagineers got back to work, and Galaxy's Edge was announced at the D23 Expo on August 15th, 2015.
If that had happened, it just would have been Star Wars Park, right? I mean, just turn it into Star Wars Park.
Yeah, it would have taken over at least a third of the entire park.
Basically everything we're talking about today.
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
For those that don't know, Galaxy's Edge is set within the village of Black Spire Outpost on the remote frontier planet of Batuu, where both the First Order and Rebel Alliance are stationed. A lot of drama going on in Black Spire Outpost.
A lot of drama for your mama. I'll tell you what, Adam, I could go on and on about how intricately designed this land is, from the sound design to the music from John Williams to the signs that are written in the Star Wars language of Arabesh. Every inch is just thought out and detailed. So detailed. So many nooks and crannies to explore. I love it. Something that I didn't know, the Black Spires in Black Spire Outpost were intended to represent petrified remains of trees from an ancient forest that lived there, and they're basically based on the landscape of the petrified forest in the National Park of Arizona. Yes, I designed them that way. You did? Thank you. You're welcome, Patrick. So for me, and I would assume that you agree with this, Adam, that this is probably the most inspired and game-changing land so far that we've seen from Disney. From the moment you enter the land, the rest of Hollywood Studios just sort of fades away into the background as you're transported into Batuu. And as you enter the world, things get more and more lush and vibrant and busy. There's going to be a photo spot with a few vendor carts right away when you enter to your left. And then you come to the main attraction, literally, in Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. I've never heard of it. We've talked about it at length on this show. Yes, it is a game-changing attraction. Disney bills it as guests' opportunity to join the Resistance in an epic battle against the First Order. It's a massive attraction with multiple ride systems. It's true. It's basically an all-immersive experience that, as you said, takes you on at least 2 different ride vehicles and at least 3 different showrooms. There's character encounters, there's 3D and practical effects, and I just read that there are 65 audio animatronic figures. That's insanity. Insanity. In fact, it takes over 5 million lines of code to control this attraction. I know, I designed it that way. Thank you again. For those that haven't had an opportunity to experience this attraction yet, it will be worth the wait, I promise you. Just to give you a little bit about the backstory of the plot
of Rise of the Resistance, your transport is captured by a First Order Star Destroyer filled with legions of stormtroopers, and yes, even Kylo Ren. Fortunately, a covert team of Resistance fighters, including Rey and BB-8, are ready to give you a fighting chance to escape and a chance for the Resistance to rise. It's a really thrilling experience and probably like the pinnacle of storytelling as far as I've experienced it in the 2 domestic parks.
For sure. We're not going to tell you too much about the ride for those who haven't experienced it yet, because it's kind of like spoiling a movie, this ride is.
So we're not going to talk about Jabba's striptease?
We're not going to mention that, Adam.
Forget I said it.
Everyone forget what just happened. I have been on this ride, I think, 3 times now, and I notice something new every time I'm on it.
Yeah, as we talked about in our recaps on our various trips, it's so immersive. You are completely unaware of any of the technical elements that are used to help tell the story. You just feel like you are fully in a Star Wars movie.
For sure. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it's a thrilling enough attraction to keep you engaged, I would say. And if you are a Star Wars fan, I think this is going to be an incredibly emotional experience for you.
Oh, yeah. I cried afterwards.
During, afterwards, before, today, you know, I just keep crying.
So, Patrick, we should talk about how you obtain a boarding pass for this attraction.
I have no idea anymore because they just changed it, actually, didn't they?
They did. They just changed it again. We'll talk a little bit about it right now, but who knows? It could change again completely. So they do have a virtual queue for Rise of the Resistance. Originally, you could only join a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance if you were physically in the park. But now you can reserve your spot to join from the comfort of your own home or Disney resort.
Can you do it from your home? I thought, unless they changed it recently, I thought that you had to be connected to a Disney Parks Wi-Fi.
My understanding, and I could be wrong, so please double check us on this, Tweedles, is that you can join day of from anywhere.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I imagine as long as you have a park ticket for that day.
That's right. All you need is a Disney Park Pass reservation currently to Disney's Hollywood Studios for the day you want to get a boarding pass, and you're eligible to try your luck in securing a spot in line. Although this new change is highly convenient for guests, it seems that because you do not have to be in the park, reservations are going in seconds as soon as the clock strikes 7 o'clock a.m.
But they do have a second wave, I believe, that happens in the afternoon. So if you didn't get that first wave of a pass, I guess, for this attraction, you still have another opportunity mid-afternoonish.
That's right. It happens at 2 o'clock p.m. And for that release of boarding passes, you have to be inside Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Got it. I wish that this would just be the way, I think, to get a pass. It's very Disneyland.
It's very Disneyland, yeah. And once you nab one, you feel like a king or queen.
A queen for me.
Queen Patrick, riding Rise of the Resistance.
Absolutely. We can just stop here, I think, right? Because that's really all we need to talk about is Rise of the Resistance.
That's all Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has to offer. Yes.
But just in case you want more information, after you've departed from the ride and dried your eyes of tears, as you continue down the path, it sort of forks, so you can go to the right and bypass the marketplace, or you can dive right into that market. So let's do just that. Strangely, Adam, the first thing you come to is maybe one of my favorite parts of the marketplace, which is the restroom.
You might have to pee a little bit after Rise of the Resistance, so this is a perfect opportunity to stop. Yes, important to note, the restrooms are right here.
But more importantly is that these restrooms are themed out to the gods, and they are enormous. And be sure to check out that water fountain just outside of it. It's delightful.
There's a special little surprise inside.
There's a surprise. So as you walk through the marketplace, you're going to find little shops where you can pick up trinkets and toys and plush from the planet of Batuu. There's the Creature Stall, Jewels of Bith, Toy Darien Toy Maker, Black Spire Outfitters, and of course, my favorite place in that area other than the restroom, Kat Saka's Kettle, where you can buy the Outpost Popcorn Mix, which is a sweet and spicy mix of popcorns.
It'll run you $6.49. And Patrick, I have a question for you. Do you get your popcorn first to enjoy while using the restroom, or do you use the restroom and then get your popcorn?
I get it as a treat for using the restroom.
So smart. It's so smart.
Yeah. I go, good boy, have some popcorn.
To yourself?
Yeah, you went potty. Good boy.
What a rewarding system you've established for yourself.
That's why I have so much popcorn, because I am constantly using the restrooms.
Well, if you find yourself a bit peckish, if you haven't stopped at Kat Saka's Kettle, you can head right on into Ronto Roasters, which is an exotic meat stall in which a hanging pod racer engine heats up a spit of meats with a cute little droid turning that mechanical spit.
It's like you're describing my basement, an exotic meat stall.
I've been there. I've experienced it. It's delicious.
There's lots of spits here, too.
Ronto Roasters offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. It's a great spot for breakfast. I have had the Ronto morning wrap, which includes eggs, grilled pork sausage, shredded cheddar, and peppercorn sauce in pita bread, and that runs you $12.49. I also happen to have that very same morning the Surly Sarlacc, which is Kettle One botanical grapefruit and rose vodka, Minute Maid, limeade, raspberry, spicy mango flavors, and that runs you $13. So a great little morning nosh.
Interestingly, Star Wars Land is one of the few places you can actually get breakfast in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, and it's great. It's a little walk-around option. Also, you should know that Ronto Roasters does offer mobile order, and you'll want to use that because there is usually quite a line for that location.
It's true. I have yet to eat there. I have not experienced a Ronto wrap yet.
It's good. It's like a hot dog in pita, essentially, but the flavorings are just right. It's a great little walk-around meal.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it. So after you've had that breakfast or lunch, you will leave Ronto Roasters, and this is where you see the bustling city that is Black Spire Outpost, and it's the big reveal of the land with the giant spires in the back, and of course, the Millennium Falcon.
This is also a cry moment. If you have not yet experienced Galaxy's Edge, seeing the Millennium Falcon in front of you in person is a very emotional experience.
It is so much better than I anticipated it looking. I knew it was going to be amazing, but it is beyond amazing. It is picture perfect, really.
And kind of just kitty corner from that amazing view of the Millennium Falcon is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, which offers galactic artifacts collected by a legendary antiquities dealer, Doc Ondar, which is one of the most amazing animatronics you'll come across in the Disney parks. And it's in a store of all places.
It is incredible. It's almost chilling to watch it move around. It absolutely seems real.
And he's making fun little noises like,
Are you Doc Ondar?
Those are the same noises I make when I wake up every morning.
Fair enough. So this is maybe, I would say, the main gift shop, right, in Galaxy's Edge.
And even if you're not into the merch, which is a life Patrick does not live, it's worth it to stop in there to see everything that the store offers and to see that animatronic. But if you are into the merch, this is where you can purchase jewelry, yes, jewelry, ancient tools, kyber crystals, statues, and pre-built lightsabers.
It's really decorated to the heavens. It's sort of the TGI Fridays of gift shops because the walls... Do you know what I mean? Because the walls are just crammed with artifacts and Star Wars Easter eggs.
So many Easter eggs. So fun to stop in there. So please set aside some time to stop in the Den of Antiquities.
And across from Doc Ondar's, you'll find Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, which is basically this land's version of the Satuli Canteen in Pandora. It's the main cafeteria quick service location. It is absolutely massive, and I love this spot.
It's a great place to take a break and find some healthy food. Yes, I said it. Healthy food in Walt Disney World. Meals here will run you about $14.99 and under for adults.
Now, Adam and or Tweedledees, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear to you, I remember having breakfast here this past January. But when I looked at the menu online, it was only showing lunch and dinner.
I know they did used to offer breakfast. I guess they don't anymore, or maybe it's just because of the pandemic. I'm not sure.
Interesting. But they do have, as you said, very delicious and pretty healthy lunch and dinner options. I highly recommend the Andorian fried chicken tip yip with crispy chicken, vegetable mashed potatoes or mac and cheese, and roasted veggies. And they have a really delicious salad. I think it's the best salad for my money in all of Disney. The roasted and durian chicken salad with marinated chicken, mixed greens, roasted veggies, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, and a green curry ranch dressing.
I'm not a vegetarian, but I ordered, based on the recommendation of one of our Tweedles, the Felucian kefta and hummus garden spread, which includes plant-based meatballs, herb hummus, tomato, cucumber relish, and it's all on a pita. And that was $12.99. It was so tasty. And Patrick, when we were there together, you were nice enough to get us the Batuban, which is a chocolate cake, white chocolate mousse, and coffee custard. And that runs $6.99. And that was also very, very tasty.
Yeah, super delicious, super delicious. This is, as I said, basically the equal and opposite version of the Satu'li Canteen. All the meals are pretty similar, but differently themed.
And there's booze. There's booze here, too.
That's right. You can get your Surly Sarlacc, or for Adam, the second Surly Sarlacc of the day.
Second. You're so cute.
The second stop to get multiple Surly Sarlaccs.
There you go.
There it is. So after all of that eaten, Adam, we come to the visual piece de resistance, the Millennium Falcon.
You cry again.
You cry again, and then you head on into Smuggler's Run.
That's right. The second attraction in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It offers guests the opportunity to fly the Millennium Falcon on a thrilling interactive smuggling mission for Hondo Ohnaka.
It's basically a mashup of Star Tours and Mission Space, I would say.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Thank you so much. Although you don't spin, but it is a motion simulator.
Right, so you might get sick, but you won't get as sick as going on Mission Space.
Exactly. But it is like Mission Space, quote unquote, interactive in that you're hitting buttons.
And these actually do some things. The ship is responsive, and you are spending your ride in the Millennium Falcon's cockpit.
Exactly. So you're split into teams of 6. There are 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 mechanics. And once you're inside the cockpit, that's basically where the mission begins. Your pilots are taking you on an adventure. You're shooting ships down if you're the gunner. And if you're the mechanic, you're just hitting a red button that doesn't do anything.
And developing carpal tunnel syndrome. We've shared our thoughts of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run on the podcast before, but Patrick, to remind our listeners, what do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's my sound effect for the ride.
Perhaps if we were both more interested in gaming, it would be more thrilling to us, but it is visually stunning and a fun experience. But my biggest beef with the attraction is that I'm too focused on my role in the cockpit that I'm not able to actually enjoy the experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think for me, I wouldn't wait more than 35 minutes to go on this ride. Unless you haven't ever done it, then absolutely, it's worth going on. There are some amazing photo ops to be had in the line queue. The line queue, that was redundant. But other than that, the ride is pretty basic, I would say.
And if you're visiting the park with guests who don't want to experience the attraction with you, there is a single rider option, so be sure to take advantage of that.
Yes, absolutely. If you're going to do the single rider, you're probably going to get on the ride in about 15 minutes, so it's worth it to do that.
Well, after that thrilling experience, Patrick, it's time for another cocktail, wouldn't you say?
Or 2 at the most.
So you're going to want to head to Oga's Cantina, which is one of the hottest reservations to get right now. It is a notorious lounge owned by, yes, Oga, and features droid DJ R3X, a former Starspeeder 3000 pilot from version 1 of Star Tours. Oga's Cantina consists mainly of standing room with limited seating, and seating is not guaranteed upon entry, and you are allowed 45 minutes per party. Patrick, we've both experienced Oga's Cantina. There are a number of drinks you can experience. What is your fave?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot. I would say it's the Dagobah Slug Slinger with tequila, blue curacao, citrus juice, ginger, and bitters.
Delicious. I tend to favor the Outer Rim.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. It's Patron Silver Tequila, acai liqueur, lime juice, pure cane sugar with a black salt on the rim and exotic fruit puree. It runs $17. Most of the drinks in Oga's will run you between $15 and about $20, except for the very expensive novelty mug you can purchase, right, Patrick?
Yeah, isn't that like $80 or something for the drink in the mug?
It's bonkers. It's bonkers.
It's absolutely bonkers. I do also recommend, so you get a limit of 2 drinks per person, I believe, when you're in the bar, unless your bartender is feeling a little frisky with you. But I would recommend getting at least one of you in the party, the Fuzzy Tauntaun, which is basically, it's a fuzzy navel with peach schnapps, but it has this foam on top of it that makes your lips and tongue go numb. So it's a fun experience, and it's pretty tasty as well.
It is a fun experience. It is a bizarre experience. You will feel it for a while, but it is unlike any drink I've ever had.
Yeah, for sure. This is an interesting location for me. It's not my favorite, but I think it depends on the crowd and the bartender, because they sort of start you out unsuccessfully when you enter the cantina. You're basically led to your table and told not to move ever. And that sort of starts you with a little bit of like okay, I feel like I'm in trouble already.
Yeah, if you're not into authority figures, you might want to stay out of Oga's Cantina. There are some strict parameters you need to abide by while visiting the lounge as a guest, but it can also be a very fun party-like atmosphere. You just kind of have to be in the right mood to be vibing with the cantina.
100%. And beyond the cocktails, they do have a few good beers and some wines. But here's what, people, don't get a wine. It's $16 for a glass of wine there, and it's just not worth it. Do one of the beers or the cocktails instead.
That's right, Karen. Go out of your comfort zone and get a weird galactic cocktail or beer.
Exactly. And then there are some snacks there. They have the Batu Bits, which is basically their bar mix, but it's presented in a really clever way, and it's pretty good. And they have the Hapabor Sample, which is their version of a charcuterie plate.
All right, Patrick, we've already been to like 4 locations that offer drinks.
Yeah, they like to keep you drinking here in this land.
Where do we head next?
Well, let's move on with the circle that we've started here and go to the First Order Cargo, which is a gift shop selling First Order merch. And I won't lie, Adam, this is a little bit unsettling, this store. It gives me a Proud Boys vibe.
I was going to say Nazi vibes coming from this store.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome merchandise, but it's weird. It's very propaganda-like.
And it's intended to be that way. We are talking the First Order after all, so it can be a little intimidating. But as Patrick said, the merchandise is themed to a T, so much so that it may make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it gives me a funny feeling in my tum-tum.
But for those of you who choose to be a villain while you're visiting Blackspire Outpost, this is where you can purchase apparel and accessories, art and collectibles, gifts and housewares, pins, toys and plush, and vinylmation. And Patrick, there's like a full-on First Order trooper suit in there, which is incredibly affordable.
And it's kind of hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I own 3.
You're wearing one right now.
Well, after you grab all of your First Order merch, right across the way, yet another location where you can get an alcoholic beverage if you choose. It doesn't necessarily need to be that way. But yes, Patrick, we're heading to the milk stand.
If you didn't have a funny feeling in your tum-tum before, you're in luck because you can have some milk and alcohol.
Everyone's favorite combo.
Everyone's favorite combo. So the milk stand, the famous milk stand, I would say, of course, is selling blue or green milk. Both are a blend of coconut and rice milk. And the blue milk has more of a fruity taste to it, kind of like Fruity Pebbles, I would compare it to. And the green milk is a smidge more citric in flavor.
That's right. Both will run you around $7.99. Or, as I said, you can get them with alcohol, and it's rum for the blue milk and tequila for the green milk. And then it will run you about $14 for the coolers with alcohol.
Are you a fan of the milks?
I did the blue milk. I don't need to do the green milk, and I don't think I need to do the milks again.
Fair enough. Strangely, I like the blue milk more than the green milk, but if you're going to add alcohol to it, I prefer the green milk over the blue milk.
A lot of variables you've got working there.
It's a lot of variables. It's a real test kitchen situation for me over there.
This stand is so popular, and it offers mobile order again. So if you don't want to wait in line, you can mobile order your milk and have it to go.
Mobile order.
Mobile order.
Oh, we're so clever. We're so clever. So after you've had a gallon of milk, you can continue the circle around and you'll come to the exit or the entrance, depending on where you're going or coming from, to Toy Story Land. And if you stay in Galaxy's Edge, you'll come to the Droid Depot, which I absolutely had a blast at.
Well, it's where you met one of your very best friends.
I assume you're talking about Matt from Explore the World.
No, I was talking about the droid you assembled, but also Matt from Explore the World.
I was going to say we didn't meet there, but that's one of the first places we went when we had a fun time in the park together. But yes, my droid, Peanut Butter, was birthed in the Droid Depot.
Well, that makes you the perfect person to talk all about Droid Depot. Tell us about it.
I'll start out by saying it's a little bit spendy. To be sure, it's $99.99 to get you into the store to design and construct a small-scale BB or R unit droid. So basically your version of BB-8 or R2-D2. If you think about it like a Build-A-Bear store, it's basically like that, only it's for droids. So after you select your droid type, the BB or the R unit, you then go to sort of a conveyor belt that is moving past you with all sorts of droid parts, and you select the parts and the color scheme that will make up your droid, and then you go over to the workbench where you construct your droid and you bring it to life. I 100% recommend doing this. I absolutely loved it, especially if you were going to buy a droid anyway, which you can now do at many of the gift shops, including Target now, I believe, sells these droids, and you can buy them online at Shop Disney. So if you're going to do that anyways, spend a little bit more money and bring it to life yourself. You're going to remember that for a long time. The kids are going to love it. You can get it on film. It's absolutely fun. You can take your time with it. It's a beautiful experience, I have to say.
It does look like so much fun. And if you don't want to build a droid, you still do have the option of actually just visiting the store and watching the birthing process happen.
Exactly. It's like a state fair barn in there. Oh dear. Oh dear. No, it is absolutely a delight. And I do recommend getting a reservation, but you can sometimes wait in line and just wait your turn. But it'll take you about an hour probably to wait if you're not going to have a reservation.
Well, before we move on, Patrick, I just want you to pass along to Peanut Butter. What's up?
He wanted me to tell you, beep, boop, bop, boop, bop, wow.
Oh, Peanut Butter.
Oh, Peanut Butter, you dirty, dirty droid.
If you want to spend even more money, our next location is an option for you. Right around the corner from the Droid Depot is Savi's Workshop hand-built lightsabers. For $199.99, guests can build their very own lightsaber and also experience that building process as part of a show. There's kind of a little show that goes along with it. If anyone's been to Universal and has purchased a wand, it's kind of a similar experience, except each person gets to build their own lightsaber individually. Patrick, have you purchased a lightsaber?
I have not. I have not done that. But you're right. It is a lot like Ollivander's wand shop in Universal, which I have done and gotten a wand there. But you don't, as you said, build your own wand. You get to build your own lightsaber. So it's a real interactive experience here.
That's right. For those that have not been, you need to know that payment will be due upon arrival at the location. Guests can only build one lightsaber per builder per experience, and that includes a carrying case. The experience area is limited to the builder and one guest, so you can bring one guest in with you. At least one person in the party must be age 14 or older.
I wonder if they're still doing this right now. Is it still up and running? Because it's a pretty, from what I've seen from videos, it's a pretty enclosed area.
I believe they are still doing it. Yeah, I'm sure they've properly spaced everyone now, but I know they've just recently added a new lightsaber you can build.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I imagine they are limiting the amount of people who can go in there now, so it is even more recommended to get a reservation for this experience.
My dream for this location would be that they'd have like a viewing area above the show that happens. I know that they don't want that to be the case so that you pay the money to be a part of the experience, but it would be so interesting to be able to watch the show without building a saber.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And Tweedledees, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they are still recommending if you're flying home and you have purchased a lightsaber or one of the droids, you are going to want to disassemble it before you get on your flight. Or even if you check it in your bag, it's recommended that you disassemble your droid and your lightsaber. Otherwise, they will be going through all your stuff.
The sabers are not small. They are quite large.
Yeah, they're pretty enormous. Once you purchase one, I think they also recommend, and you can do this, take it to the guest services and they can send it to your hotel room, or you can pick it up at the end of the day. Well, that, Adam, basically concludes Galaxy's Edge, right?
That's right. So many experiences to be had in that one land.
It's true. You could spend a majority of your day just going through Galaxy's Edge if you want to experience all of it. I'll admit, I am a Star Wars fan. I am not a bonkers Star Wars fan, but even just having a little bit of Star Wars knowledge and being a casual fan of the franchise, this land changes the game for what I expect from a Disney experience now.
It is a feat in Imagineering for sure. And if you have the opportunity, visit it during the day and visit it during night. The night views are really beautiful.
Well, let's run, not walk, but run out of Galaxy's Edge. We are leaving Batuu. We're going to run past the Muppets area, and we're going to head straight into the Echo Lake area with Star Tours.
That's right. We just wrapped up some Star Wars stuff. Let's do some more Star Wars stuff.
Exactly. And technically, I should say, it's actually called Star Tours. The Adventure Continues because it is a rebranding of the original Star Tours attraction.
Star Tours, The Adventures Continue, is a thrilling 3D space flight to legendary destinations from the Star Wars saga. The attraction opened on May 20th, 2011 at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and just a few weeks later, it opened at Disneyland.
Both of these rides, of course, replaced the original Star Tours rides, which opened originally in Disneyland in 1987.
This is the OG Star Wars attraction in a Disney park.
Well, the rebranded OG, but yeah, for sure.
It's the ROG Star Wars attraction in a Disney park.
There you go.
For those that don't know, the attraction is a flight simulator featuring digital 3D video, audio animatronics characters, in-cockpit special effects and music, and characters pop up in the attraction like Kylo Ren, Boba Fett, ace pilot Poe Dameron. Patrick, do you want to take a moment?
I want to take his moment. You know what I'm saying?
Princess Leia can also make an appearance, as can Yoda, plus many, many, many more characters.
Including Alice and Janney.
Including the one and only Alice and Janney, or CJ from The West Wing.
CJ Craig, indeed. Yeah, as you said, it is a 3D motion simulator, which features scenes from all 9 of the Star Wars chapters. There are 21 random segments of the attraction, 4 opening segments, 5 primary destination segments, and 7 hologram message segments, and 5 ending segments, which mathematically means that there are apparently over 700 different possible ride experiences, but I somehow always get the same one. It's always Hoth. I'm always on Hoth.
That is truly hilarious. Yeah, you get to visit locations like Crate, Jakku, the Death Star, Naboo, and if you're Patrick, Hoth, 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 Hoth.
Yep, it's just Hoth on Hoth on Hoth. I'm David Hoffelhoff.
Okay.
Nope. Wasn't worth the wait on that one.
Oh, Patrick, I love this attraction. It is a classic in my book, and I'll say it. I'll say it right now, Patrick. I would much rather ride this than Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
100%, absolutely. And this is one of my favorite places to get a selfie in the queue line outside of the building underneath the big AT-AT walker.
That's right. A great little themed area, themed to Endor, right?
Now, did we see AT-AT or AT-AT walkers on Endor in the movie? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but there is one there. But it's like a Hollywood representation of Endor because you see the scenic elements behind the trees. I think because it's Hollywood Studios, they were like, look, it's like you're making a picture. It's
true. It's really lovely, though. And there's, of course, a gift shop right outside of the attraction where you can find all of your Star Wars needs.
That's right. Tatooine Traders.
And then on the other side of next door, you'll find the Jedi Training Trials of the Temple, which I have to believe is in no way up and running right now.
Yes, that absolutely has to be closed right now.
But when it is up and running, for my money, it's 100% worth your time to watch. It's an interactive outdoor stage show that kids can sign up for to be a part of. And a Jedi Master basically is teaching a class of young Padawans the ways of the Force, which brings them face to face with either Darth Vader or Kylo Ren, and they must defeat him using their new Jedi skills. It is super fun and adorable, and sometimes the kids get super excited and hit Darth Vader in the face, and it's amazing.
It is so cute.
So cute. And sometimes, Adam, the Jedi Master is a hottie. Force indeed. The Force indeed.
A hot Jedi Master teaching children. Are your ovaries just exploding?
I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant right now just thinking about it.
As Patrick said, this is really worth your time to watch because it is so cute. Just some information, if your kids are interested in signing up to experience this attraction, you must be between 4 and 12 years of age to participate. You register at the Indiana Jones Adventure Outpost located between the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular and the 50s Primetime Cafe. Registration begins when Disney's Hollywood Studios opens for the day. All participants must be present at the time of registration, and availability is limited, I would say extremely limited, and offered on a first-come, first-served basis.
I love that you just know that information and didn't at all read it just now.
That's right. It was just top of mind.
It's a cute parlor trick.
Yes, I am incredibly entertaining at any cocktail party, spewing information about how your kids can sign up to experience Jedi Training Trials of the Temple.
Sometimes milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard, but for you, it's knowledge about Jedi training.
That's right. That's right. Some people got it and some people don't.
Fair enough. So after that, after watching these adorable kids beat up Kylo Ren or Darth Vader, you can head on over for some more food. Adam, we're just going to eat all day long in Hollywood Studios at the Backlot Express.
Another location I have not experienced. Have you stopped here?
Oh my gosh, I love the Backlot Express. I think it's my favorite cafeteria in Hollywood Studios.
You got your burgers, you got sandwiches, you got your salads, and lunch and dinner will run you about $14.99 and under per adult.
For sure. It's my go-to place, I think, if I want to just sit down and munch on some chicken fingers, basically. It's pretty enormous, but it's actually pretty peaceful when you sit on the patio sometimes. There's not a lot of people out there, and it's huge. There's so much seating. You can almost always get a spot there.
And this is another location where you can purchase the specialty holiday drinks or sippers that the park offers. Indeed.
So moving on from there, we come to Celebrity Spotlight, which is where you can have a meet and greet with Olaf.
Probably not open right now, right?
In no way is this spot open right now. In no way. But when it is open, meeting Olaf is a super fun experience.
How cute would Olaf be, though, in a little mask?
With a carrot sticking out of it?
Not the proper way to wear a mask, but yes.
Yeah, keep your nose covered, everybody.
Or your carrots.
Keep your carrots covered and your mouth guarded.
Another super cute meet and greet. I have not experienced this. Did you meet Olaf?
I have met Olaf several times. He is, again, one of my favorite experiences. He's just so fun, and you get a cute little Olaf sticker after you meet Olaf.
And a hug, I would assume. He loves warm hugs.
He does love warm hugs.
Next door to Olaf, Patrick, is the newly opened Mickey Shorts Theater, which is featuring the short Vacation Fun. Mickey Shorts Theater opened on March 4th, 2020. And wow, what an opening date to have. It ran for like a week, and then it was like, we're shutting it down.
Yep, Mickey Shorts is the reason Disney World shut down.
For those that are fans of Disney history, originally Mickey Shorts Theater was the Monster Sound Show. When Disney MGM Studios opened, guests would be selected to act as Foley artists and help record sound effects for a short comedic film starring actors Martin Short and Chevy Chase. The attraction also offered an interactive post-show called Soundworks, where guests could learn hands-on about how to create sound effects, experiment with voiceovers, and more. But back to the Mickey Shorts Theater, As I said, the theater features an original animated short starring Mickey and Minnie Mouse called Vacation Fun, and everything at the Hollywood Theater is inspired by Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Delightful. I can't wait to experience that.
Me too. And post-show, there is a super cute photo opportunity that features life-size recreations of Mickey's world. I guess you can pose with a potato from Potato Land. How cool is that?
A potato? I want a picture with a potato.
It's a very exclusive experience. Only a few people get to do it.
Well, only a few people have done it by now, so.
Oh, Mickey Shorts Theater. We're happy you're up and running again, and we wish you a long life.
A long and happy life. Moving on from there, we come to Frozen Fractal Gifts, where you can buy anything you ever wanted that's Frozen themed.
This is where Patrick and I got our matching Anna costumes.
That's right. We had a real who wore it best situation.
And Patrick won.
As per usual. We've also got Epic Eats just across from there, where you can get funnel cakes, ice cream, and root beer floats.
And once you've had a snack, you can head back over to, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration.
Boy, oh boy, do I love this place. I cannot recommend it enough.
The Frozen Sing-Along Celebration opened on July 5th, 2014, and it's a 30-minute celebration of Frozen with a flurry of stories, songs, and special guests. It is hosted by the royal historians of Arendelle who recount the frosty story of their enchanted kingdom.
The entire show basically features clips of songs from the movie Frozen, and it has live appearances by Anna, Kristoff, and Queen Elsa.
And talk about a big finish, Patrick.
Talk about an explosive finish.
Did you all know it snows? It snows inside the theater.
Not just a little bit of snow, it is a flurry of snow, and if you aren't laughing and clapping and dancing and singing, then you are not alive.
Wow, those are... It's a bold statement from Patrick Kozicki.
I'm serious. I think it is one of the most joyful experiences in the park.
It is so funny and so fun to watch. And to be sitting in an audience filled with children who are losing their minds, it really is a magical experience.
Yeah, unless you're not a fan of Frozen, and then it's a real nightmare.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of Frozen, don't do this.
Don't listen to our show. Well, speaking of shows, after you watch this show, you should head on over to the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, which is kind of how it sounds, right? It's a massive outdoor theater that puts you behind the scenes of a filming of the stunts from an Indiana Jones movie.
That's right. It opened shortly after Hollywood Studios opened on August 25th, 1989, and it's the first Indiana Jones attraction at a Disney park. It's a 30-minute stunt-themed show, as Patrick said, starring stunt performers who are portraying Indy and Marion and others.
Et al.
It is a cool experience, though, because it gives you an inside look at how stunts are done, and there's demonstrations that reveal how to safety throw and take punches and fall from tall buildings and even wield whips, if you don't already know how to wield a whip, in the midst of complex action sequences.
So you've got everything from the iconic huge rolling boulder to a street fight and an exploding airplane. I think it's super fun, actually. If nothing else, it's at least something to do to kill some time. But here's what I'll say. If you are looking to get out of the heat, this is not the place to do it. It is outdoors, and it is directly under the sun, basically. But it's worth your time, I feel like.
There's a roof and some fans, but you're outside.
Yeah, the fans aren't doing anything at all. They're just moving.
And as we know, when you're sitting next to a bunch of hot people, you just get hotter.
And you do have an opportunity to be pulled up on stage as one of the performers. So if you're into that, this is a place to do it.
I will never, ever be into that, Patrick.
And then, of course, just outside of the Stunt Spectacular, you will find the Indiana Jones Adventure Outpost gift shop where you can purchase your Indiana Jones hat.
And as we said, this is also where your kids can sign up for Jedi training Trials of the Temple. And just across from that, we have the iconic Dinosaur Gertie's Ice Cream of Extinction, where you can get your waffle cones, your ice cream cup, and the classic Mickey's Premium Ice Cream Bar.
Delicious. What's fun about this place is that it is inside of a giant dinosaur, Dino Gertie, which is inspired by Gertie, the trained dinosaur, which is one of the very first animated characters in film history, animated by pioneer animator Winsor McKay.
That's some knowledge you can spill at your next visit to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Inform all of your friends about Gertie.
Who is adorable, by the way, especially during the holidays when they put the Santa Claus hat on her. So cute.
Yeah, we should bring this up since it is the holiday season. Disney's Hollywood Studios, and in particular, the Echo Lake area is so charming. They put a giant Christmas tree in the middle of the lake, and it is truly, truly beautiful. A real vintage kind of 40s, 50s Hollywood tinsely vibe.
I think you and I have both agreed previously on an episode that this is our favorite holiday spot in the Disney parks, right?
Absolutely. It is so charming.
It's got all of those classic 1940s Christmas songs that are playing. You're going to hear some Bing Crosby, maybe some Rosemary Clooney. It's delightful.
It really does put you in the spirit. So after you've admired Gertie and had an ice cream treat, you can head right across the way because you did dessert first and now you're going to do a meal.
Fair. Now you're going to have a meal and another dessert.
Where are we heading, Patrick?
We are, of course, heading to the 50s Primetime Cafe and its connected lounge, the Tune-In Lounge.
Do we have a preference?
Well, if you are lucky enough to get a seat in the Tune-In Lounge, I would recommend going there. I think it's adorable. The bartenders are amazing, and you can get most of the menu items served in the 50s Primetime Cafe here. But there's only about 14 seats, I think, in the Tune-In Lounge, and there are no reservations, so it's kind of hard to get a spot.
Hard to get a spot, but if you want to just stop in and grab a cocktail, you're certainly welcome to do that. Get a sippy cup and take it around the park with you.
That's right. Fill up your souvenir popcorn bucket.
As Patrick does, yes. But right next door to the Tune-In Lounge is the 50s Primetime Cafe, as Patrick said. It opened on May 1st, 1989, along with Disney MGM Studios. It features classic American comfort food and 50s kitsch. It's an all-American eatery themed like Mom's Kitchen.
Exactly. It's basically like you're eating in the kitchen dining area of the TV show Happy Days.
I love that, Patrick. I love dining on a set.
Me too. And I love a 50s theme. So I actually really like this place.
It does have quite the story attached to it. It's that mom and the extended family kind of give you dining lessons. So for instance, if you have your elbows on the table or you're misbehaving, the cast members, servers who are walking around will punish you.
They will. They'll give you a spanking.
Can you imagine?
I've seen some of the servers in there. I might need to put my elbows on the table. You know what I'm saying?
And while you're eating your fried chicken or meatloaf or pot roast, again, on a 90-plus degree day in Florida, sounds amazing, you do get to watch black and white clips from popular primetime shows circa 1955.
It's 105 degrees out, and you know what I want? A hot chicken pot pie. Sounds perfect.
Fortunately, you get to enjoy it in air conditioning, so that might help sell it a bit.
It's true. For me, the thing to have here is a dessert. They have delicious sundaes and shakes, and their very famous peanut butter and jelly shake.
It's so good.
So good.
And as Patrick mentioned, if you aren't able to snag a reservation and want that shake, that's also something you can order from the Tune-In Lounge.
Exactly. You can get it as a walk-around item if you need it.
They also have cocktails, wine, beer, and lunch and dinner will run you between $15 and around $35 per adult.
And they make a mean Manhattan, I'll tell you what.
What's the name of the server there who you connected with?
Who can remember? I had many Manhattans. I want to say Linda, but I don't know.
It was Linda.
So just next door from there, Adam, is your favorite restaurant, Hollywood and Vine.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't this used to be a buffet situation?
It still is during normal times. But right now, for the pandemic, they're offering more of a table service option.
Got it. That's what had me confused about it. Because I swear I remember skipping the adult section of the buffet and heading straight on over to the kids section where they had the better food.
That's right. They had the tiny corn dog nuggets.
Corn dog nuggets and macaroni and cheese. That's all I need.
So Hollywood and Vine originally opened as Hollywood and Vine Cafeteria, but it has since kind of transitioned to character dining. And now it's all about Minnie. You get to celebrate with Minnie right now during the holiday season. And basically throughout the year, they transition to various celebrations, all hosted by Minnie.
I think I might be more apt to go here now because of that transition. It used to be a Disney Junior only character experience, which I don't really know many of the Disney Junior characters other than Mira and Vampirina.
Don't get me wrong, the character portion of it is so great because you get to see characters in their seasonal costumes. So as we talked about in last week's episode, Minnie has her holiday dress on right now. You get to see Santa Goofy. During Halloween, they have the cutest Halloween costumes on. Stuff you wouldn't see the characters wearing walking around the parks. But that's kind of where the magic ends because the food is not that great. Lunch and dinner runs you $35 to $59.99 per adult. So it can be pricey, but as we mentioned earlier, if you want to make this your Fantasmic dining package option, you can do that. Breakfast runs you $50 for adults and $32 for children, or lunch and dinner runs you $63 for adults or $41 for children. So not that much more expensive. I would recommend, if you have not seen Fantasmic and want to go to Hollywood and Vine, take advantage of the Fantasmic dining package.
Yeah, the food here is a little too big for its britches, I think. It's almost trying to be the Brown Derby with the food, and it doesn't do as well as the food at the Brown Derby. I don't know if it's because of the ambiance that changes it, because the food doesn't really fit in there, in my opinion. I don't know.
This place is for kids. That's how I'll put it. It is for the children.
Yeah, I would say if you have kids, maybe bring them here instead of the Brown Derby.
For sure. And to see the characters, again, the characters are great, but the food is not great.
Other than, I will say, I am recommending the banana cream pie.
Did I have that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I did, and it's delicious.
I feel like I would have remembered that if I had it.
You may have had a bread pudding instead.
Classic Adam. He goes bread pudding every time.
That darn Adam. Well, Adam, we've talked all about food. Now let's end on some more food. What do you say?
How can we wrap up our time in Hollywood studios? More food.
More food. More food. A foot long of food. In fact, we are wrapping up with the Dockside Diner, which is basically a food truck, right? Only it's a boat on Echo Lake.
That's right. It's an open-air tramp steamer. Patrick, you're familiar with tramps.
Yes, that was my nickname in college, tramp steamer.
I'm hesitant to ask what the steamer part refers to.
I think we all know.
Interesting. The Dockside Diner pays homage to 1950s California crazy architecture.
It sure does. It's lovely. I think this is a whimsical, delightful little treat within Hollywood Studios.
The food options here will run you about $15 and under for adults. And Patrick, you know what we need to talk about here?
Oof. Because of our delightful friend Robbie, we have been introduced to the Kahlua and Bailey's milkshake here at the Dockside Diner.
$15 gets you a boozy treat.
And what a treat it is. I think it is expensive, but it's worth it. It's very, very tasty.
On a chillier day, if those exist in Florida, this is a great option. It is so tasty, and it leaves you with that warm on the inside feeling.
I would even say on a hot day, it's delightful. You can get the chocolate or the vanilla version of it. My recommendation is the chocolate one, but they're both good.
Now, see, I opt for the vanilla, and that's why we're great podcast hosts. Varying preferences.
I'm also recommending the foot-long chili dog. I've had it on more than one occasion, Adam, and it is delicious, but you do have to sit down to eat it. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess.
I didn't know you could take a full foot long.
I can take 2 footlongs, in fact.
Oh, my.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And that's Hollywood Studios, everybody.
This has been such a fun series. You know, the Walk in the Park series will go on, but to be in Hollywood Studios, to have these 3 separate parts and be able to explore in detail these really wonderful sections of the park has been such a treat.
Absolutely, it has. One last tip, when you're in the Echo Lake area, especially around the Primetime Cafe, look up. The theming of the upper halves of the buildings are very reminiscent and pay tribute to the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's super fun. You'll find the outline of Roger Rabbit when he jumped out of the window
And that's a great tip, Patrick. No matter what Disney park you're in, be sure you're looking up because there's always something to see.
It's true, especially in Hollywood Studios. There's tons and tons of Easter eggs on the upper half of the park.
Well, we would love to know if there's anything we missed or any special tips or tricks or food offerings that you consider can't miss when visiting Disney's Hollywood Studios. You can reach out to us on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or as always, you can leave us a voice memo or an email at info@gazetothed.com. Adam, I'm sad to be leaving Hollywood Studios.
I know it's been so fun to explore this park and learn so much about it. But you know what? There's other parks out there on the horizon.
There are other parks on the horizon, it's true. Do you have a favorite part of Hollywood Studios before we leave?
I like the food part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that food part. I like that.
There's a lot of food parts, a lot of moving food parts.
No, but if I'm going for like specific location, I do love the Echo Lake area. I think it's just really, really charming.
Yeah, it is delightful.
What about you?
I would say my favorite part is the big burly villain in the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. He has an Instagram where he's shirtless a lot, and that's my favorite part of the park.
I didn't know you were so into Dom Tops.
With him, yeah, you bet. You bet. I'll put my elbows on the table for him any day.
I would love that, Patrick. If you just put your elbows up on the table in 50s Primetime Cafe and he came smashing through one of the glass windows.
And then we will just enjoy a peanut butter and jelly shake as we ride off into the sunset, me on his shoulders.
He'll enjoy your peanut butter and jelly shake.
Hey-oh, it brings all the boys to the yard.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Adam.
We've reached the end of this episode, and that means it's time for some Quick D. This week, we are doing Quick D Classic. That means that Patrick and I will be asking a question we have not been privy to prior to recording, and we'll be answering it off the cuff.
Off the cuff, Classic D.
That's right. Patrick, who's going first?
Oh, I just don't care, Adam. I just don't care.
Patrick is exhausted from walking around Hollywood Studios. That means that, Patrick, I'm going to have you ask me your question first.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Adam, as you know, the holidays are just around the corner, and one of my favorite things to do is put up a Christmas tree. This year, Gaze to the D is a part of the Christmas tree trail. Adam, walk me through what the Gaze to the D decorated themed tree will be.
I would love to do that. We're going to start off with a base of one of those truly hideous rainbow-striped artificial trees. Have you seen those?
I have not.
It is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically like a pride flag just wrapped around a tree as if the colors are wrapped around the tree. So it's just kind of like a layer of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Okay. Off to a tacky start. I like it.
I mean, that could be said of any episode of this podcast.
Off to a tacky start.
Yeah. So we got that pride base. And how can we sully that moment of pride? We're going to cover the tree in some lights, but not just any lights, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
We're going full, gaudy, twinkling, dynamic lights that may or may not cause seizures upon viewing.
Ooh, like a strobe light situation.
A strobe light on a pride flag. That's what we're going for.
Fair. I think I've been to that club.
After we just absolutely cover the tree with lights, I mean, so many lights. I hate when I see a tree, Patrick, and there's just like one strand of lights on it. There's nothing more pathetic.
Just throw it in the garbage if that's all the energy you have for your tree.
Throw it in the garbage. I want to go full like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, blinding lights.
Why is the floor all wet, Margot?
I don't know, Todd. I love that movie so much.
So much.
I guess we should throw some garland on the tree. What I'd like to do is make it a real PSA for sexual health and awareness.
Oh, good.
So we're going to strand together some condoms. I was going to say sew together, but that would then prove ineffective in their use.
I know some people who have done that trick before.
So let's tape them to some garland. Wow, this is getting tackier by the moment. But yes, we're going to cover the tree in a condom garland.
Okay. It'll be like that episode of Blossom.
Yes?
The PSA episode of Blossom where they all wore like outfits made out of condoms.
Got it. It took a second, but I'm there with you now.
You and no one else.
And as for ornaments, I think we should really celebrate gay culture and podcasting.
Okay.
So let's see. We could string some bottles of poppers onto ornament hooks and hang those on the tree.
Okay.
Podcasting microphones.
Mm-hmm. These are all ideas that you have.
Leather chaps.
Mm-hmm.
How many other slightly offensive stereotypical things can I think of?
I was going to say, the way that you feel about gay culture is the way that I imagine a lot of staunch Republicans feel about gay culture.
Well, that's the statement I'm making, Patrick, and thank you for bringing that up. I really want to just rub it in their faces.
Good. If you can't be offensive, why even be gay?
I want a complete set of ornaments celebrating the queens of Canada's Drag Race.
Sensible. I mean, that's just sensible. That'll be so sparkly.
I want ornaments celebrating common gay cocktails. I'm thinking a Cosmopolitan.
Of course.
I'm thinking a vodka soda.
Obviously.
And what should we top the tree off with?
A bottom.
Oh! Unexpected, a bottom on top.
And then we can trim that tree.
Trim that tree and then celebrate with opening presents.
I don't think there's room for any gifts under that tree. That's a full situation.
Well, they're flat-packed jock straps.
Oh, perfect.
Again, just really rubbing it into conservatives' faces.
That's all we're about.
And my guess is that a lot of conservatives would love to have a jock strap rubbed in their face.
It's so much more fun.
Lindsey Graham.
Oh, dear.
All right, Patrick. It's time to move on to my question for you. Save me, Patrick.
How can I follow Lindsey Graham?
Here is my question for you, Patrick. We just got done exploring everything Hollywood Studios has to offer in our multi-episode series.
Indeed.
But as we know, the Disney parks will never be finished, and Hollywood Studios has transitioned recently to a more you live the movies type experience when you visit the park. What kind of new Disney-themed land should Hollywood Studios add, and what is going to be the e-ticket attraction in that land?
Excellent question, Adam. Excellent question. The new land for Hollywood Studios will be themed after Escape to Witch Mountain.
One of the most celebrated films in all of Disney canon.
Wouldn't you say? Most of the land will just be about reminding people that Disney had a movie called Escape to Witch Mountain.
Yeah, it's good to remind people to create awareness of that movie.
Exactly. And here is where we go off the rails because I don't know anything about the movie Escape to Witch Mountain other than people are escaping to Witch Mountain.
Right. Why would you escape to Witch Mountain? It sounds like someplace you would not want to escape to.
Right. They're escaping from Witch Mountain, actually, to Witch Mountain.
So, to which being the improvement.
Which is the bitch, I think, is the cafe that's going to be there.
Isn't one of the Beverly Hills housewives in Escape to Witch Mountain? And would she be a walk-around character?
I believe actually both Kim and Kyle Richards were in Escape to Witch Mountain, and there'll be more stumbling around characters because they're consistently drunk.
I love this, Patrick. Ever the opportunist, you've already added in a dining location in Escape to Witch Mountain land in which you can purchase alcohol.
Yes, absolutely. Both Kim and Kyle will be in the dining location called Which is the Bitch.
And the food offered, I'm assuming, is sandwiches.
Because it is themed after the Real Housewives, the food offering is just a gust of wind.
Got it. Staying trim.
Yep, it's a gust of wind, and if you're lucky, you can have the olive from the martini that you have.
So what's the e-ticket attraction?
They're actually just bringing back the great movie ride for this land, and that's the only ride that you're going to have. It's a real disappointment of a new land, Escape to Witch Mountain.
So recycling an iconic Disney attraction.
Exactly. But they are renaming it what it should have always been called, which is just the movie ride.
So, Escape to Witch Mountain Land, you just get drunk with Kyle and what's her name?
Kim. Kyle and Kim Richards. Yep, you get drunk with them, you get to eat an olive, and then it is just a slow death crawl on the movie ride.
Wow. I'm excited to see the marketing for this land.
No marketing needed. It's just going to be a billboard saying, go to Witch Mountain? Okay.
Listen, Patrick, I know Disney's going through a rough time right now, but I don't think this is going to be the land to save them.
Come for the cocktails, leave because you want to. That's the slogan. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.